stops today are on fire. There's the new diet success. Running hot and cold is coming for this guy. And a man eats his own finger. It's no secret that Finland is the land of 1,000 lakes, both big and small. But did you know it was also the land of no guitars? The poor locals will try to play anything they can get their hands on, or even nothing at all. Brave these young Finns then. When it looked like the national guitar competition would have to be called off, they said, "No, we don't need guitars, they're heavy, they hurt our fingers, and they just get in the way." And so the contest was saved. Just think of it like this. You've heard of an unplugged performance. Well, this is extreme unplugged. Sounds better now, right? From hairy headbangers to strange-looking emos, everyone's loving the new guitar-free jamming. But best of all, they're saving a fortune on strings, and in a few cases, guitar lessons as well. The Finnish lasses are just as determined as the lads. You can take away their fashion sense and their guitars, but you just can't take away their stubborn need to compete. Take this guy. Somebody please. You'll be doing Finland and the music industry a huge favour. Wow, dancing like a dork, playing an invisible guitar and drinking bottled water. Who says men can't multitask? This next performer really is the complete package. You've got to love the gold lame hot pants and matching jacket. It's just a pity there weren't any gold underpants to go with the outfit. Good grief, by this point, we weren't sure if he was still dancing or having a fit. A big finish coming right up. Oh, there goes the guitar.
5.8, 5.9, and a 5.8.
Golame Man is definitely out front. He's the crowd favourite and numero uno with the judges too. This is one victory performance the audience won't easily forget. And get this, for his amazing efforts, he's won 3 more invisible guitars, an invisible television and an invisible holiday. But unfortunately, no gold underpants. Just before we leave the land of the midnight sun, spare a thought for the poor Finnish youth. If you have a guitar just lying around, pop it in the post, care of Finland. Hands up if you like curry. Well, these folk do, and so do I. The problem is, how are we going to feed them all? Well, this is a start. It's the mixture for ladoos. No, not young men dressed as women, but a kind of pastry delicacy from the Indian culinary cabinet. These women were recently laid off from the building trade, and their cement mixing experience has come in very handy for this new job. Now, the word ladoo comes from the Sanskrit meaning small ball, which is something you have if you go out for the night and have an average time. This is a ladoo eating competition, and the art of consuming these balls is difficult because they're pretty dry and a mouthful is hard to swallow. A bit like England boasting they can beat India at cricket. Well, so much for the band. Bring on the food. All ages are represented at the Ladoo Lounge, and it looks like these kids have got a big task before them. Orange and white seem to be the colours of the day, with matching garlands around the neck. Hardly Tom Ford, but nevertheless fitting. The art of the ladoo seems to be speed, with the crumbly mass never touching the lips. That is, until this guy came along. Contenders are coaxed with the promise of something liquid to wash it all down if they can finish. Everyone has to be medically certified before the competition and mentally proclaimed sane before eating the ladoos in profusion. Eventually, a winner is declared, so the losers are off home for a quick bite of dinner. TV morning breakfast shows scheduled all next week, and those that bet on the big guy are winners tonight. Next stop, Hello Mudder, Hello Farter, and the new Wonder deodorant. To England now for the annual Guinness World Record Day, a very special day on the UK calendar, when the nation's finest collection of mixed nuts are allowed out in public to proudly display their round-the-twist, madcap, Looney Loon craziness in all its glory. First up is Kenny Burns, with his impersonation of a birthday candle. Kenny did a marvellous job and really looked the part. Unfortunately, the team he'd organised to blow him out again really let him down. Sure, he ran around looking for them, but that just got him hot under the collar, and hot under the armpits, and hot everywhere else for that matter. Hot, 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 hot. By the time some bright spark finally put poor Kenny out, he'd run further than anyone ever had on fire, which happened to be a Guinness World Record. Remember, kids, smoking's a health hazard. Don't try this at home. Our next group of crazies really are a charitable lot. They gave away all their own underpants to help the needy and pantsless people of the world, and are now sharing a giant pair of undies between them. It's all smiles and fun now, but just wait till tomorrow. Whoa! There were a number of good entries in the dumbest form of transport competition, and this was the eventual winner. No, I'm not winding you up, but I could use a bath. And now for the dumbest activity while sleepwalking. Don't be alarmed, he never remembers a thing by morning. Ah, it's good old Olive. Talk about unhinged, she's the world's squeakiest woman. She has the constitution of an ox and joints like a rusty gate.
And try and get your legs up straight.
Recognition has been a long time coming. Take a bow, Olive. Somebody give Olive some oil.
And finally, the wee leprechauns. Hold still and I'll count you up for the record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, for goodness sakes. Why can't you count yourselves and we'll call it a day? Honestly, you look like a great big sneeze, you do.
It's over to sunny Spain, where the big boys love their toys, and in this case, their toys are racing tractors. Ah, there's Manuel. His big white beast has a pumping stereo, 'cause that's what all the senoritas like in a tractor. Olé! See, I told you so. Okay, Manuel, time to buckle up, have a good scratch, and then start her up. He seems to be producing a lot of pollution, but very little traction. Looks like he's carrying some extra weight on board. That's very strange. Well, there's your problem. Lady, are you loco? Go sit somewhere else. That's not what I meant. The next mechanical monster has pulled up to the start line. Who puts a Rolls-Royce engine into a tractor? Big One, that's who. Rumour has it he can plough a whole field in under 15 seconds, which is really handy considering how quickly his tractor runs out of fuel. And he's out. Hey, there's his biggest fan. And there's Big One. He really is a big one. No wonder they need to use a tractor. Oops, Sorry, big one. Cheap shot. And the crowd continues to pour in. Some locals are trying to sneak a peek for free. Well, at least they brought a tractor. Breaking news now, and as expected, the vegetable tractor has been disqualified. Sorry, little lady, out you go. Ah, here comes little one, son of that big one we met earlier. Come on, kid. You can crawl faster than that. We're in the Big Apple, which would have been a better choice than Nathan's Hotdog Eating Contest, the annual event that celebrates excess and shoves it down our collective throats. Oh look, a contender for Most Annoying Person award. He should beware the angry mob below. That six-time winner, Takeru Kobayashi with the hair, and Joey Chestnut without it. 70% of food-related asphyxiations are caused by hot dogs. So kids, don't try this at home. Going in or coming out, sir? This gluttonous race for food consumption glory has become big business, with its main contenders earning six-figure sums as they vacuum down whatever the menu choice of the day happens to be. I think I sat in front of these guys at the movies once or twice.
Complete tie between Kobayashi and Joey at 59 hot dogs and buns. Ladies and gentlemen, bring up 5 more hot dogs and buns each. This goes into overtime.
And so it's a tie, sometimes known as a sponsor's dream come true.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, a mere 59 hot dogs and buns can leave one feeling a little peckish. What's that name? Louder, please, I can't hear you. Come again? One more time. Well, looks like it's Joey Chestnut. Since that memorable moment, Joey's been in rehab and is now a salad and fruit kind of guy. Yes, he's a very annoying man. And here's a close-up view of the inside of Joey Chestnut's digestive tract. What a beautiful day in Upper Mongolia for the start of yak polo season. If you've got a yak, bring it along. Of course, no yak polo match can begin without a lucky pile of yak poo. It's on fire, so that just makes it extra lucky. 3 times round should do the trick, and maybe once more for good luck. Just smell all that good luck. Any more and I'd need a bucket. Finally, it's time for the teams to take to the field. This is just like regular polo, only in Mongolia, with teeny tiny yaks instead of big powerful horses, and hardly any rules, and hardly any crowds, and hardly any grass. Actually, it's nothing like regular polo. Still, they look like they're having fun. The second half began at a cracking pace, with mallets and yak hair flying everywhere. They can be stubborn and grumpy at times, and the yaks can be difficult too. Now there are so many yaks and riders in front of goal, it's hard to see what's going on. Oi! Stop whacking that yak! Just because they're short, there's no need to take advantage of them. Yak whackers are the lowest form of person to me. Well, I'm very fond of a good yak. And by the end of the second 15-minute period, they slink off the field in defeat. All together for a photo opportunity, boys. Scratch their heads as they might, the lucky yak poo just wasn't with them today. As for the victorious yellow side, they win a year's worth of bragging rights, a very tasteful yak medallion, and all the you-know-what they can cart home. Talk about lucky! Coming next up, the elevators on the fritz, and the biggest sand bunker in golf. When something's confusing, it's said to be double Dutch. Well, here's a mob of Dutchies starting at the finish line. And now they're turning into Dutch in a dirty ditch as they jump into a canal that's heavily mudded and decidedly cold. This is the mud race. Someone must have stayed up all night to dream up that name. And after letting them off lightly in the first crossing, the course takes on a decidedly dirty turn as the competitors get a silt-filled shoefall. Hans, the cameraman, says dank u wel for the mud in his lens, and he apparently won't be going straight to the wedding after this gig. It's very uncomfortable walking with a cupful of mud in your Netherlands. But at least they're using the finish line for the finish this time. Looking good, Joost. You might like to try another brand of toothpaste, though. Now, starting at the finish again, the team event, with rubber duckies to transport the ladies across in a dry condition. Well, that plan failed miserably, but you've got to hand it to these ditzy Dutchies. They're living very well without the installation of bridges. Finally, some profiteers and hot chocolate are in sight as the finish line gets utilised in the correct manner this time. It's a nice hose down before donning one's clogs and going home to the windmill. Well, forgive me if I stereotype, however, you have to admit, tall people, canals, red light district, clogs, bicycles, windmills, and chips with mayonnaise, the Dutch really are asking for it. Anyway, they may be tired after all that exercise, but at least there aren't any steep hills to climb as they cycle home to a warm plate of croquettes from their Dutch ovens. Little Marcel hasn't had a bath all week, but he's getting one today. Bonjour, we go now to Paris, France, home of the French, and one particular Frenchman that they call the Spiderman. Oh, no, 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 that is just a man with a spider on his hand. Oh, and that is just a baby spider monkey. Where is the real Monsieur Spiderman? Ah, there he is. Bravo, monsieur. France salutes their craziest son. And no wonder the crowd are shocked. Look at their view. Oh, monsieur. The real Spider-Man is really husband and father of 3, Alain Robert. He began his climbing career just by trying to avoid paying the bridge toll each day to work. But these days Alain does not go out so much. He spends most of his time at home, just hanging around. Get it? Hanging around. This is funny. His son Alain Jr. takes after his father, no? Now go to bed. When it's time for work, Monsieur Spider-Man is all business and heading straight for the top, the hard way. Today he has a dentist appointment on the 27th floor, and he does not want to be late. It took 3 weeks to get this appointment, and a little bit of wind is not about to stop him now. The wind is getting very strong. Excellent! Now there is something soft and squishy to land on. Oh mon Dieu, I can hardly believe it. Monsieur Dentist is ready, but the window, she is stuck. Why did you not take the elevator? You silly, silly Frenchman. And now for the sad tale of two desperate explorers lost in the wilderness. Oh no, my mistake. They're just a couple of crazy golfers playing a few rounds of the Namibian desert. First job is to mark out the sand traps. Hey buddy, look around. It's one big one from here to Botswana. The crowd might be small, but they're in fine voice. What an amazing feeling it must be to play in such a dry land without a drop of water for at least 500 miles. Okay, nobody's perfect. How does that keep happening? The crowd looks just as puzzled. At least here in Africa, there's often plenty of encouragement to move quickly to the next hole. Even if that means a 5-mile trek over burning hot sands. At least it's a chance to catch up with some like-minded lunatics. And some guy who shouldn't have been here at all. Well, it doesn't take an Einstein to know that. Once you finally do make it to the next hole, it's time to select a club. Oh, the sand wedge again! What a surprise! Now you're probably wondering why these golfing geniuses lug around all their other clubs too, when all they ever need is a sand wedge. Well, there's a perfectly good explanation for that. You see, the other clubs come in handy when you're hiding from the wildlife. Good job, buddy. As you can see, there's no denying that this weird sport has really caught on. That's despite the searing heat, the scorpions, and the fact that the only birdies out here are vultures. Seriously, what is that? Most of the time, you can't even put your ball down without losing it in the shifting sand. But there is one benefit to playing on this golf course. Oops. You get to make your own holes. Anywhere else, it's called cheating. Out here, it's called creative thinking. Another hole in one coming up, I bet you. See you next time, tourists. Yes.